Welcome back to the Dragon's Tome. My name's Jack. I'm with my friend Rob, my friend Chopper here. And if you're new, we are going through Dragon Magazine. We started at one. We're going until we decide to stop.
We're no longer promising to make it to the end.
I never promised anything.
We're going to go until one of us drops dead.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do one more, and that'll be the memorial show.
Yeah. A bag of memorial dice for each, and then that'll be it. Okay.
We've already given out the memorial dice.
Ooh, memorial dice. That's a story for a very long time in the future.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
We are. Unless there's something I don't know.
Well, unless this episode's real short, we'll have to go into it.
Okay. In the Wayback Machine, we've traveled to June. It's June 1988.
I will say, not to interrupt, but I do enjoy the fact that they put the month and the date on the front of the magazine now.
For once, in a couple issues, they no longer do that. So enjoy it while it lasts.
Oh no!
I was going to interrupt, not to interrupt, but this is Charles Vess did this cover. Charles Vess is a famous artist, but does a lot of comic books. He did a lot of covers. Well, he did a lot of things for Neil Gaiman, but he also did Stardust. There's a famous cover in Stardust that reminds me of this a lot. So I was like, I recognize this artist. And it is. He's a famous comic book artist. This must have been pretty early in his career. Maybe not. This was 88? Probably not, actually. He's probably already done the Sandman and stuff by now, actually.
Yeah.
So there you go. Charles Vess.
A little behind the scenes knowledge there.
Makes me think of Elric when I see it, just because of the black sword.
Black sword, yeah.
Oh, see, I was wondering because it's got like white bats and streaks of light, and I'm just thinking there's something else. There's something I'm not seeing here.
Yeah, I want to know.
Goes around it. There's a story.
What's happening with her dress that their light coming through? Has it been cut? Or there just holes there?
Well, the title of the work is called "The Sword Is Dawn," not "The Sword Is Drawn." So maybe it's something, some kind of goddess. But he did it for another magazine that never got published. So who knows what the other magazine was? So
maybe a black sword doesn't inspire dawn thoughts to me. So
yeah, she's. Yeah.
It's always darkest before the dawn.
That's true.
My other question then would be, are the bats white because of the light from the dress and they're being turned, or are they coming from her dress?
I don't think the light's technically really coming from the dress. I think it's more of a...
Well, you know what I'm trying to say.
I don't know. They're white bats.
I don't know either. And unfortunately, canonically, the artist has passed. So
yes, R.I.P. Too bad we can't ask her, because I'd like to say that this gal is definitely ripped. I mean, look at those lats. Look at their triceps.
I think it also said that this is the first time he ever used a model for a. So this is a real person.
Well, that real person is buff, man. She's cut.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So
she got some flair, like Arnold Schwarzenegger flair to her back.
Yeah, so it's a true.
It's a true.
He's still alive. He's currently
Really?
72 years old.
Are you telling us that's a Wikipedia thing, because we can't trust them?
72.
No, I would rather trust the inside joke that we've had for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Than
I wanted to make sure
research.
he wasn't actually dead, because we're getting to the age that we shouldn't be so flippant about people's deaths.
I will be as flippant as I want.
Oh.
I was hired to be flippant.
This is their chance to get on the show and say, "Listen, buddies, I'm not dead."
Charles Vess,
and then we'll apologize profusely and eat crow like we always do.
We have had artists from magazines contact us in the comments and
be mad at what we said. Yeah.
No, actually, you've had them that they were very happy.
It was an
Actually,
article.
everyone's been very. I think they know we're joking, and they've all been very pleasant about it.
There was an article. Person who wrote an article who didn't appreciate some of the things Pat said. So
That was a one-time, one-off,
I
and
did. I don't remember what I said though.
No, we don't remember what happened last week. So
Yeah.
okay, let's get
we
this.
do appreciate the comments where we have no clue what you're talking about. We do appreciate those.
Most of the time we do, but then episodes later we forget.
Yes. Anyways, Jack, are you in charge of this
Let's-
episode? What the fuck's going on?
Yes, I am, and I'm grabbing hold with both hands and shaking profusely, much like a baby. It is the proper thing to do. We
Shake
are
it, baby. Shake it, baby.
going to look at 134. We've done the cover, so
Oh,
next we
I thought
do
you were going to
our
page
article.
134. I was like, wow, he's good. He's taking control.
Oh, I could if you want, but
Well,
You're in charge.
There's no 134.
we're
No,
doing the articles,
confused.
and I think the laws of the land dictate that Rob goes first because he does the
Editor, yeah.
he does the editor letters from the editor.
Sometimes,
So
sometimes most of them are not very good lately, but this one actually is really good. So we're on page 5. Equal Time, it's called, and it's by I think it's Roger E. Moore did this one, but he goes on a real rant about the Satanic Panic. Like he really goes off on people.
Is it still going on in 88?
That's what I didn't think so, but and he blames the news for keeping it going. But the thing he mentions is happened in 1985, so I don't know if he's just holding it for 3 years or what. And yeah, something really got up his craw. But at the end, he does say, "Happy 12th anniversary of Dragon Magazine." I was like, "That's a real weird editor letter," because he
What's
just goes,
the instance that he was holding on to? I didn't read the letter.
a suicide.
yeah, like back in the day, like I think he's holding on to a 60 Minutes article back in 1985 talking about the whole Satanic Panic and people claiming that this suicide, even though the mother said it had nothing to do with Dungeons and Dragons, they still claimed it was Dungeons and Dragons that caused it and all this stuff. So
Yeah, and as I was reading, he did say religion couldn't cause mental issues, and I was like, I disagree.
well, he's a religious person, so obviously he's going to say that.
Yeah,
so.
but then he made some good points about the Satanic Panic, and then followed up with he could understand why paintball and laser tag could cause.
Yeah, he goes against them.
So I don't know. Roger E. Moore. Usually I'm like pro you.
Yeah, that
But,
was. It's a bit of a straw man for no reason. Like he,
Ye-
it doesn't
yeah.
like Pat said. Is it still going on? I don't think so. By 88, I think it's pretty much died down by this point. But maybe in the Bible Belt or somewhere. But something brought it to his attention, and he had to write it. So something happened. But I don't know. Anyways, that was the letter to the editor. No, editor's letter. I don't know what they call this thing. Editorial. I don't know. They don't really have a name for it. It's just a little sidebar that he writes. So,
Okay. Pat, what do you have going on? What tickled your fancy in this episode?
And the pickle
pickled
jar,
is fancy.
In the pickle jar, we're going
Oh,
to
I
page...
said pickle. He
Where-
said
It sound.
pickle.
I did. I thought he said pickle.
Oh,
Me?
No, I thought Jack said pickle.
I thought he said pickle too. That's why I said in the pickle jar.
Yeah, I know. That's what we both thought you said pickle. Anyways, Pat hates pickles, so how dare
I
you?
don't. Yeah, how dare you make me reference pickles in my...
That was a personal
sorry.
attack, Pat. I think he really is on you this week, so watch out.
Yeah, well, he's ornery today.
He is something wrong with him.
Let's go to page 10.
10.
10.
The
Hey, this-
Dragon's Bestiary.
Oh, this is one of mine. And before you start going, I want to just say, I forgot to mention at the very beginning of this, the art through this whole magazine is amazing. There's so many good pictures in this one magazine that I was like, what the hell? And then
Yeah,
I was like,
I
maybe
know,
it's all the other magazines are going to be like this. And it's not. It's this one magazine, for some reason, has tons of good pictures. And
Is
all
this
these
the 12th
dragons are amazing. Yeah, maybe.
anniversary?
Well, I think most of these were taken from like Monster Manual 2 or whatever.
No, these are all new dragons. These are all new pictures by Jim
All
Holloway.
Jim Holloway, you're the bomb. So, as Rob says, this is a slew of new dragons.
Yes.
And they're pretty nice. The aquatic dragon is nice. The only one I have issues with is this Ithiodrake.
Oh, I have the issue with the were-dragon, but we'll get to it.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. That's the biggest one I have a problem with. The were-dragon or the Ithiodrake.
Hey, he's awesome. He looks
Question
like
mark.
he's like the Meg.
Yeah, it's
He's a
question
big
mark
fish.
for me.
I don't know if he's a dragon, right? He's just a big
I don't
fish.
know. But in my notes I put down, I don't know if Greg Detweiler is a dinosaur lover or what. But of course, then old Doctor Greenwood's got one that we don't agree with, and that
Well,
is
yeah, the were dragon.
the word dragon.
My question is,
Uh,
aren't all dragons were dragons? They all change to human form,
well, this is
right? And this one,
Not all.
yeah.
wow,
My
most.
my problem my problem with the were dragon is it's hard for me to see a dragon with all its magical abilities and resistances that you get can be infected with lycanthropy.
But he's not. That's the whole point. If you read the article, it says it has nothing to do with lycanthropy.
Yeah, but still,
So,
it's in this.
so why is it a were dragon? It's just a dragon that changes forms, like all dragons do. So it doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
like a polymorph.
Not all.
Rob, you have a problem with that I didn't even see coming. Me, I'm like, okay, well, a dragon has 4 legs and 2 wings, so let's work on the basis of dragon. And you're like, dragons can be whatever they want, and if I was a dragon, I wouldn't want to be human.
Well, my point is they already are humans, so why is it a were dragon?
Yeah,
It
I
makes no
guess
sense. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And it's not like
it doesn't.
Pat says it's not infected with lycanthropy. So
Yeah,
and it can't it can't make other were creatures either. So it's not a were creature in any form. Why is it called this? Ed, what were you thinking? I think he had one
Yeah.
too many mushrooms. That's my question. Famous mushroom
When he-
eater.
who
When he
knows?
comes back on the show, I think I'm gonna have to bring this up.
In retrospect, though, I do like his fang dragon.
Yeah,
thing
look at
looks
that thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, it looks awesome. It's got all these spikes and stuff.
So, and very rare, longtime friend, longtime listener of the show, Ed.
As a
Strike.
misstep.
Sorry, strike one.
And the sand dragon, I did have to say that Dune is going to sue somebody because that's just it has no wings, it has no legs, so it's just a sandworm.
The sand
Again,
dragon.
Yes, Jack.
Again,
It's not a dragon.
is it a dragon?
The fish isn't a dragon. Actually, even the celestial one is more of a Chinese dragon. I'd give you that one. It's more like a luck dragon. It looks kind
Because
of
it's
like
a Western
Falcor.
dragon. I said it's an Eastern dragon. I mean,
But yeah,
but it
Yeah.
does have 4 legs. It just doesn't have wings.
yeah. And say the aquatic dragon has no wings, but he's got 4 legs at least. But even then, is he a dragon?
Yeah.
Question.
Are flippers legs?
He does. This
It
one
doesn't
is
have- it
the
has
aquatic.
legs.
No, the
Oh, the Ichthyodrake.
Drake.
Ichthyodrake. Yeah,
Has-
I have a question, or I have a question mark on that one. But most of the part, most of these dragons are pretty cool.
I just like all the art though. It's nice to have pictures for all the dragons.
Yeah.
Yes, I think between the two of you, Rob says, "Oh, this is great art, and there's lots of it," and Pat was like, "Oh, it's got to be from a manual." These are either ones that were done for something. Maybe they didn't cut the muster for space or something like that. But
Well,
Maybe
these
this
are-
goes. Maybe it goes into what is. Maybe it goes into the Monsters Compendium.
They do have a lot of these kind of dragons in there. I wonder if, but
Yeah.
these are all made by like just people. So either this is something that they eventually do put in, but they a lot of great art for them. So it was
Yeah.
definitely thought ahead of time. So who knows? Yeah, dragons. That was one of mine too. So
That's me.
good for you.
perfect.
And that would be Jack's turn to tell us who's up next.
Okay,
It's Jack's turn.
it is my turn to say who goes next, and I say I go next. Page 19, please.
Hey, we're right here.
Uh,
I'm just going
19.
to scroll. I believe this
19.
is this is one of mine too.
19.
So thanks for stealing all my articles, guys.
This is not mine. This is not mine.
You come with 16 articles. This was actually a pretty decent magazine. The next the next one I read ahead. Ugh.
Yeah,
Oof.
this one is a really good one because hey, we love dragons, right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't love dragons?
And yeah,
I had a hard time with the later on down the line.
Before you say anything, Jack, I just want to say do we need dragons to be more scary? That's my question.
no. So this give dragons a fighting chance. So right off the hop, I think I don't know if that's necessary, but
Are you playing dragons wrong? Is the question then?
or are your
Yeah.
players way too powerful,
Mhm.
and dragons are no longer
I've never
appropriate
had a character that
foils?
would be like I could fight a dragon. I've never had a character.
No. But I'm not going to go too into the weeds in this, but this is how to make a dragon tougher. And it starts with, hey, you can give it more physical attacks. You can give it special abilities. You can give it magic. And then there's a whole paragraph under special abilities where it's
Magic.
like it should have just been a chart of just like bullet points, but he just kind of writes down like in a paragraph, oh, I do this, then I do this, then I do this, then this. And we're talking like adding like here because they roar and just it's a lot.
I
Magic
think
spells.
dragons emanate fear, anyways. At least in first edition, they did.
Well, they have a lot of spells and they could do a lot of stuff. So it's like this is like you say, somebody's been playing dragons wrong, and this is how you should be playing dragons. But this is just obvious. This is how dragons work.
Yeah, there was nothing here that I thought was new or like,
No.
wow, I didn't think of that to add to my how to play dragon. I did not get that out of this article.
It's
It
more like
makes a lot of adjustments. Like you are from the ground up creating artisanal dragons, which brings me to the next point because then he makes a couple. He makes
Artisanal dragons.
Razizis.
Razizis, the regular.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, okay, an example of what he did and how he did it. Then he does a second version with using some of the other things he had recommended. I keep saying he. I didn't mention the author. And
It
I
is
apologize.
Ed Friedlander. So
Okay,
unless it's Ed
Edward.
like Ed from Cowboy Bebop, it is a male, I would assume.
Or Edwina.
Hmm?
I
Or
did know
N209.
I knew an Edwina.
It could be a robot. Could be a robot.
Yeah.
Who can't walk upstairs.
Ed-E. Um,
Oh,
and
it's
then
maybe it's Ed from what's it called? Iron Maiden.
Eddie, the zombie mascot of
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
Yes, that's what.
That was a good Rob Halford.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we go down to the bottom here.
Comment below if you think Jack's a fool.
we keep going down, and then he gives a round by round, like what he
how this dragon would kick your ass.
really like bring the shock and awe. So it's
first you're shocked, and then you go, oh.
It's round 7. It's all but one of the high level party members is dead.
Yeah. So if you need to tweak your dragons, this guy's got about a million different things you can do. And
there's definitely like 7 pages of it.
He's definitely not the kind of DM that wants to tell a story. He wants to murder his PCs.
But we don't have a big enough sample size for that, but he put a lot of thought into making the dragons more powerful, and maybe someone had this magazine and went, "That's what I need." So, good on you. If that was the case, I hope that was helpful.
Well, yeah. If you're the kind of DM that was just making them too easy, this is a good way to be like, "Oh, you think dragons are easy? Well, welcome to the new world where dragons aren't easy." So,
yes, we the rude awakening that I can make your lives miserable.
True that.
Yeah, so that was my first article that piqued my interest. Let's wrap it back around. What do you got?
Back to me. Keep scrolling.
Yes, wrap it around to the beginning. We're doing a circle thing.
We're going to Vince Garcia on page 26. We're just scrolling down.
That's also my article. 26. I think he just did all the articles.
Yeah. Serpents and Sorcery. This one is this one's neat because unlike the other one, this one just gives you like each dragon and little hooks, like little tactic
very
hooks.
Small article on how to personalize your dragon spells. It uses charts
for each color, which is great. Yes. Which I like. Where you just go to each color and you're like, okay, they kind of want to do it like this, so they'll do this, and it's kind of fun. Like the black dragons in swamps, so it kind of makes fairy fire to try to draw people in, and
I do
will-o-wisps.
I think the killer idea here, though, is that dragons have an eidetic memory. So once they read a spell, they remember it forever. So they never have to study or reread spells. They just know them, which is killer.
Yeah, spells as an ability, almost, rather than being spells. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
But the whole point of the spells in D&D is based on Jack Vance's spell system in his books, and it's the whole thing is it's not that you just forget the spell, it's literally the spell gets sucked out of your brain as you use it.
Yeah.
Like it's a magic thing, right? So I don't think having eidetic memory would actually counter that, so I don't like that. I think they should still have to know their spells, but they're dragons, so they should know a shit ton of spells, so they could just cast as many as they want, really, in the end.
I do also like how he uses how you can figure out their caster level by using their hit points divided by 4. So the older the dragon are, the higher level caster you're going to be.
A lot of that's going to be in second edition, anyways. It tells you what it all is.
We're still talking first edition though, so I like it.
I do like all the good dragons. They're just gonna in the end try to join your crew. Like they just want to tag along, which is kind of funny. They're like, yeah, they're just gonna pretend they're like. Oh, the worst one of them was they're gonna pretend they're a giant. I think it was the blue dragon. One of them pretends they're a giant, and then it's they're like, oh yeah, you think you're gonna fight a giant, and it turns out to be a dragon. Like that's just mean.
I wonder who it would be. Would it be a green giant then?
No, I forget which one.
Blue is electricity, green is cyanide.
Storm
gas.
giant.
No, it's red dragon. Red dragon is the fire giant. It's
okay.
He uses polymorph self to turn into a fire giant, which I thought was hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, we're fighting a fire giant? Okay, I will fight him. And then it turns out to be a dragon. You're like, what the? That's fun. Anyways, yeah, that was all of our articles. So this might be a short one.
Well,
I still got a couple.
yeah, Pat never brings any less than 5 articles, so I think unless he tags mine, we're good.
Well, we know what the next one's going to be.
What's that?
Let's go to page 35.
35. You skipped one of the articles. Nobody did Legends and Lore for the Dragothia.
It didn't spark my attention. I read it and I was like,
and I still have a turn. So
Oh, could be going back to her. Look at that! Look at that full color freaking page of a dragon, red dragon. Look at that.
Yep,
that's beautiful. Some orcs giving them money. Yeah, Ecology of the Red Dragon.
Ecology of the Red Dragon. So this was actually a nice little story. It was like little farm boys looking to make their mark by killing a dragon.
It's not by Ed Greenwood either.
No, the next couple aren't.
He's too busy.
He's too busy now. He's too busy putting Forgotten Realms together.
Yeah.
So it's a bunch of farm boys who think that killing a dragon is nothing. And they hired a wizard for info, and basically that doesn't say much. The info he gives the farm boys is not much that if you play D&D or watch The Hobbit, you don't already know. But I didn't know was that they shed their skin as they grow, and they eat the shedded skin for nutrients to create new scales.
Some actual animal does that. I don't know which one.
Yeah.
But there is an actual animal that does that, so that's where he got that from.
And in this instance, once a dragon has tasted someone's blood, they can be tracked for miles upon miles. So that's
fun.
That's crazy. So the story goes, and then the guys are thinking, "Oh, blah, no problem." And the guy basically says the easiest way to defeat a dragon is to poke it in the eye. So they're gonna just stab a dragon in the eye, and there's one smart kid in the back who keeps asking like relevant questions, and you can tell that every time he answers he's like, okay, that's not going to keep us alive. While the other kids go run off to chase down the dragon, the one kid goes, you know what, I'm gonna reflect on what you said, and I'll probably be back a little bit later. And he goes, yep, that kid's gonna I'm gonna see that kid later. These other kids are gone.
They're dead.
Yeah. So it was a nice little story, and then just like I said, there's not much new information here in this ecology. The story itself was very entertaining, but the information in the ecology, other than the skin and the dragon tracking, I didn't know much about. Everything else, it was like
I do like how the
old game stuff.
All the female red dragons are bigger and meaner and like to fight more. It's like, oh, okay.
Yes. But that's the ecology. So it's a very nice story. I enjoyed the story. It was well put together.
And great art. That's a red dragon. Although actually, I think it's actually a drake. It doesn't have 4 legs.
It doesn't have front legs, yeah.
It's a drake.
Yeah, but doesn't have flippers, and I don't believe it
What's
turns
the name
into
of
a
that
fiend.
artist? Wildling or Winding?
Wiling,
Wilding
Wiling, yeah,
or Willing? I don't know. I can't remember.
Wildly,
Willing,
yeah.
yeah, he was willing and able.
But he drew,
He
but he drew
he
a
was the
drake.
Wingding.
He should
But
have taken Elmore's school of dragon drawing and learned how to
He's a
put four
font.
legs on something.
Yeah,
but I gotta say, I don't know if it's watercolor or if it's pencil crayon or whatever's going
Crystal
on.
Korea.
He's that is
Yeah,
fun.
it doesn't
I
look
like.
water. It doesn't look watercolor to me.
Yeah,
Well,
it's. I think it's paint for sure.
Yeah.
we'll
Anyways,
have to. Yes, we'll have to. If one of his descendants is watching, they can tell us. Okay, so I guess it's my turn. We can wrap up the articles by going to page 60.
Oh, that's not it.
arcane
No, it is
lore.
it. I can assure you, it is.
Arcane lore. What an odd
Arcane
choice.
lore.
Actually,
Kind of
I thought you would pick this one.
How do you say his name though?
with my mouth. What we're doing is
Fiel Haugen.
The F's
good.
probably silent.
It's like Fiel, like Fjord, Fiel Haugen.
Diefenbaker Frederick Fjellhagen. Um,
Stephen Baker.
Arcane lore. This is he kind of does it. They kind of do it backwards in that if you go to the end article, a couple pages down, they say why under notes they decided to do this, and it's because they played a cleric, and the healing spells that they had at the beginning kind of made like kind of shoehorn them into the doing the things that clerics do, which is heal as a reaction. And he was like, yeah, and it forces you to take the spells at certain levels and stuff. I know, I just played a cleric. He died when some people couldn't keep their goddamn hands off of artifacts. So I'm not going to go into that. So what this is three spells that kind of mirror the heal spells that clerics get, but they are regenerative, and when you can cast beforehand on players, and for a few days it's just on them, and then if they get hurt, it heals the points back. So you could have this on you, go into a
It's a
dungeon,
little too
and
powerful.
6 turns left,
Mm-hmm.
but it only lasts for like 2 to 5 rounds, and you get 1 point. So it could, at the basic level, the cure of
I
regenerate
see.
light
The
wounds.
moment we take any damage, the timer starts kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
You
and
guys needed that in that altar room.
No, it wouldn't have helped. We would have been dead. It was a massive amounts of damage. Don't play Tome of Horrors. That's all I'm saying, guys.
yes,
It reminds me of definitely like Japanese RPGs. Video games have this kind of stuff, regenerate, but for some reason, yeah, there isn't much in D&D. I think there is a regenerate spell, but not like this, So these are kind of fun. It is very useful. Maybe too powerful since it lasts so long. Like that 24-hour per level thing is way too long, I think. But
and yeah, it is only, most of them are 1 hit point per round. But like, would that save you from dying going into?
what it would help is little traps. Like we were getting needled by these teeny little traps. That would have helped keep our health back up. That would have helped.
And the thought being that the night before you could cast this on your party so that they would be prepared going in, and then you wouldn't need as many cure light wounds, and you could then bring some
Actual, like
some hammers and some
or other buffs. Like you never get to use things like prayer and stuff because you want to pump them up full of healing, right? So
yeah.
Right. Good. Yeah, it is a good idea. It's just the idea of casting it. I guess that's why they cast it before, so that you can then relearn the next day. You can learn other spells. So I can see why they do it.
Yeah, yeah. A little finicky, trying to remember. Oh, this round I get another one. This round I get another one. How many do I got? Like there's a little more paperwork, but
And also, it's like an automatic thing. Like every time you go out, you'd be casting the highest level of regenerate you have on everybody, right? So you'd be like, especially if you have it,
Yes.
if you're high enough, you'd be pretty high level by the end. If it's 24 hours per level, you're going to be, to get the highest level cure or regenerative heal. It's level 7, so you're going to be, that's 7 days ahead. So you could cast on 7 different people that in your party that ability. So it's pretty powerful.
yeah.
So
So, anyways, like I said, the reason was he wanted to be able to mix it up a bit, and yeah. So these are some free little spells that might be able to help you do that.
yeah, it's just it's one of those things where it's like I say, it's automatic. So all you do is have that clear. You're just going to be like, okay, we cast this. All of us have this at the beginning. So, what you could do is have it at a, not one of your clerics has it, but make it a really really high level and have like a some temple has it. So you have to go to the temple first and then go do your adventure. So it's like an extra, and you have to pay for it or something. So it's an extra cost
Well,
because
there
it's
is
a
a
little too
listing
easy.
how much it costs.
He does have a thing like if it's not for you that way
Hmm.
for as a player in the world, you could have a thing, and it's like
I like that
5,000
better. Yeah, I like that as
G.
like a god thing. Like it's a really high level. So
It's
I think it's too
three to
powerful for
three
a
to five
cleric to have.
thousand
Yeah,
gold.
yeah. I think it's too powerful for a PC to have, but as a like something that you cost 5,000 gold, you're not going to do it for every adventure. That's for sure, because that's a lot of
Yeah.
money you have to recoup in that adventure to try to pay for just to live through the adventure. So that would give it a little bit more, more thought in doing it instead of just being automatic. That was my only problem with it. It'd be just okay. Everybody's got regenerate on all time, at the beginning of the mission. So
My only problem is the spellcasting cost table has two different fonts, and
yeah, I wonder if they chose. They had it like 2,000 or something for the GP, and they're like, no, 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 it should be a lot higher.
and the 200 must have been something else too. So someone went in after
I
Yeah,
that.
it
think
looks like
I
it.
think what they wanted to do is make sure that you understood that the regenerative heal is really expensive at 5,000 gold.
Oh, so if you're reading into the italics are like, hey, regenerate the
Well,
regenerative
like it's like
heal
200, 650, 300, 5,000.
Yeah,
What
could
is
be.
what is critical? It's how many points? Critical is
Next page down.
how many points? Duration. Oh, it's just the longer duration. Oh, okay, it's 1 hit point, but just longer duration. Where regenerative heal is 4 hit points a turn or per round. That's a lot. Like that's really powerful. So I can see why it's 5,000. It probably was like 2,000. Like no, that's way too cheap. Because 4 hit points a round. That's a lot. You'd have to. That's
A
like
lot.
to try to recoup.
That would have saved you in the needle room.
It would have saved. Yeah, that's a lot of hit points you'd be regenerating. So it make like some creatures literally not be able to hurt you. Like they can't do that much damage, right? So you'd be tanks. I think that's very powerful.
Yeah.
And once again, maybe
Oh.
you don't cast it on every single one of your members. You put it on like somebody like the magic user, somebody you don't want dying. Like if you throw it on the magic user and the thief, say.
Like
So
a cleric who stands right in front of a fire blast.
yeah, maybe you shouldn't have stood there.
It was a lightning bolt, and I was the only one not screwing around with everything in the tomb. I was the innocent victim going, guys, come on, let's stop touching stuff.
It was a good idea. I thought it was a good idea. I thought we'd solved
You,
it.
you all thought it was a good idea, despite my protestations.
No spoilers for Tomb of Horrors, but
No.
don't
Yeah.
mess with altars.
So yeah, that was my last article. So I think it's we can go on to ads now. Rob,
I
you want to?
I have actually no for once, Jack. Since he stole all my articles, I have no more articles.
I got one more.
Well, we're doing ads, so it doesn't matter how
Yes.
many
What
articles we
what
may or
page
may
you
not
on
have
there,
had.
Pat?
So my last article, which I didn't get to talk about, is on page 80.
Well, coincidentally, we're going to page. It's a Game Worlds one, Jack. You got to give him a
Yeah.
poor
Right,
guy.
so this is
It's a gamma. You
It's
gotta
got a gamma. It's
come on,
Gamma
just a
World.
little gamma
It's like
world.
going to Wisconsin.
Take a just
It's
give
real
him
short
give him
too,
a gamma.
so
It is real short. So this is the new radiation damage for Gamma World. I when I read the article, I found it interesting. That this is still for second edition because at this point I thought third edition was out already.
I don't think it's quite out. I think they were making it. I don't think it's out yet.
Okay, I thought it was out already.
No, I think they announced it. I think.
Yeah, it's a very short article, 2 pages, not very long. Uh, it's really got some new charts for symptoms and mutations, and I just want to point out there are no good mutations in this article.
Are any mutations good?
Like you get anemia for so many hours or bacterial susceptibility.
Well, that's not right because you're playing D&D to get away from real world, and most of the people play D&D have anemia. So,
Oh Jesus! Wah, wah.
Wow.
well, you probably should eat more beef.
So if you look in the
Pat, you're
ads
right.
of-
Third edition came out in 1986. So yeah, that is weird. It's fourth edition that's
so
coming out.
I find it very interesting that this was a second edition Gamma World.
Yeah, that's weird.
So
Yeah, maybe third edition was revoked, but it's like they didn't like third edition, so they were like, no,
yeah,
we're still
because,
playing second.
I mean, first it says widespread from second edition Gamma World players should take a look at radiation hazards.
Yeah, that's odd.
So, but all in all, I mean, I'm sure it's not that hard. Like I said, I never played third edition. I stopped at second, so I don't feel like any of this would be that much harder to adapt for third edition because I don't know how different third edition Gamma World is.
I think third edition was a very big difference. They took, I think, they took the rules from Marvel Superheroes with the action chart. So I think it's a very different game. And once again, maybe that's why they're playing second edition, because they want it to be more like real Game World, not this new version. I think that's probably why it is.
All right. I mean,
I'm sure a lot of this is about damage and stuff. So I'm sure that goes over. That it's not about action. So
it's not unheard of. I mean, but I just wanted to point it out. It was a new gamma radiation mutation charts and everything.
And
Game World.
another great picture. Look at that.
Yeah.
Some kind of weird mutant soldiers
Yeah.
by Timothy Truman, it looks like.
Yeah. But that would be my last article in accordance with Jack's
there you
law.
go, Jack.
Okay.
We're not as bad as usual. Like usually we have like 5 articles each, so.
I don't want to set a precedence that it's as long as it's Gamma World, you're allowed to break the rules. This is a once-off.
Do you know what this means,
Pat's
Jack?
Birthday.
It's not
It
bad.
means nothing.
Means Wolverines.
This means how many ads I have. So.
Oh. Me too. That's crazy. But I do feel like me and Rob might have the same ads.
Yeah, probably pretty close.
Well, I only have one ad, so
you're gonna go first.
Hopefully, you guys don't. Take
well, you go
me.
first. So
you go first.
Yeah.
No, there's an order to things. There's the.
Yeah, Pat just went. You're after Pat.
Yeah.
Ah.
No, I'm not allowing this breakdown. Rob,
Breakdown?
give me your ad.
How's
Okay.
the breakdown? You're the host.
That's all right.
You get to choose.
Jack won't have this ad anyways, I don't think. Page 2. It's Marvel Superheroes Advanced rules. The advanced set's out. And it also has the Nightmares of Future Past, which is Days of Future Past module. A great module. So look at Wolverine, looking all Wolverine-y. But yeah.
His best, I think most people can agree, his best, most iconic outfit.
Yeah.
The
Bub.
brown and gold.
Listen,
Brown and gold is very popular, yep.
That's coming from someone who thinks like his blue and gold was with the tiger
original?
stripes was
OG, yeah. That's what I did.
his OG one's pretty dope.
There was the black and yellow one too with the tiger stripes.
Yes. And he also had black and gray. He's a very colorful guy. He's had all different color combinations. Anyways,
except in the movies.
You got to accessorize. You got to expand the closet. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, so this is the new Marvel Superheroes Advanced set. I never actually played the Advanced set. We always just had basics, so I'm curious what the difference is. I think I don't think it is much difference. I don't think it is like a actual different rule set. It's just more rules added on
Next
to
time
the
you
basic
should
set.
get the advanced set, and then you should run a Marvel superhero.
We'd like to get the Advanced set, but these go for lots of money now.
I'll find you one.
I was looking up the prices for the Marvel Superhero sets. They're once again, it's a crossover item, right? Any crossover item, it gets expensive. So But yeah,
And
uh,
it's the heyday of comic books before the
Yeah,
downfall
the
that
80s. I
we all
mean,
know.
isn't
the
the fall of the
'90s.
mutant? Isn't the mutant massacre around this time?
Yep. Yeah, it's around then. Yep.
You got
Yeah, '90s is when it got real
OG
bad. Yeah.
OG Nick Fury, OG She-Hulk. You've got my personal Miss Marvel. You've got the look at
Which one?
the
Spectrum?
cast.
Oh, you got the silver and red Iron Man too
Yeah,
going
like
on.
it's
Oh
this
yeah,
is
in the actual picture, yes. Yes, yes, it is Spectrum. Yeah, silver and red. That was a classic Iron Man.
That was the West Coast Avenger Iron Man at that time.
yeah, like this is my jam right here.
Yeah, this is definitely the height of us reading comic books,
I
or at
forget
least
what
the
they call it.
beginning of us reading comic books.
I forget what they called that color, silver
It's
something.
got a it's got a name, I'm sure. It's got a number.
Yeah,
But yeah, and Days of Future Past, a great story, and that's a fun module. Anytime you go to an alternate world where the bad guys won and you have to survive, it's always good. But anyways, that was my ad.
Okay, Patrick, take
page
us
25.
Yeah, this is my
25.
second ad for sure.
Dante Cinco, Pool of Radiance,
Yeah.
one of my first computer games I've ever
This is
owned.
and the first AD&D game.
Yeah, and this was, in my opinion, revolutionary because you rolled your character up, you picked your picture, you got your weapons, and then you made your party of 4 characters.
Yep.
And you went out and you walked around the map. You walked city view, and then when you walked dungeon view, and then when you went into combat, it went into sprite mode, and you could move your character around like that. So it's like it almost basically foretold the way people play D&D now
Yeah,
with the
with
miniatures
more.
on the table.
Yeah, for sure. And it's first of like I forget how many they said in the end, like 36
Oh, there
different.
was like a lot
Yeah.
because after Pool of Radiance, so there was.
Don't even bother trying to name them
Yeah,
all.
I
There's
can't
lots.
remember. I mean, the whole gold box set I think spans 5 boxes before it goes into
There were so many.
like 386, 46 versions because like this was still Commodore 64.
Yeah, does it say what is does it, yes, it's Commodore 64 128 IBM PC compatible. Conversions are in the works for Apple and other personal computers.
Yeah, I think at this point we're still talking maybe at the best the most expensive computer was a 386 in 1988.
Yeah, maybe even. I don't even know if that was out yet.
Yeah.
But I definitely played it on a Commodore 64.
I played
sure.
it on Commodore 64 for sure. All these gold boxes I played on a Commodore 64 128.
But it was a really good game. Played many times. All the different
Love it.
different
And then this is
SSI
the only
games.
of the gold boxes game that AOL ported into a door. We talked about this last.
Yeah, we talked about it originally. Yep.
Yeah. So
But it's finally out. Pool of Radiance. It's a milestone, as they say.
with an actual dragon on it.
Yeah, he's got
That's a
4
real
legs.
dragon right there.
it looks like a gold dragon, which is funny because it's breathing fire.
Yeah, I wonder what color that's supposed to be. It's definitely not
Looks
a gold.
gold, but it's not supposed to be a gold.
It
because
doesn't
there's
make
only
sense
one.
that it'd be a gold dragon. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a red dragon.
Yeah, he must be. Okay. That was it.
So, for my ad, if we could please go to page 7.
Oh, 7.
I don't know, not mine.
I don't even know what this is.
Well, that I
Oh,
wrote
stainless
what?
steel rat. Yeah. I've heard of stainless steel
Um,
rat.
It's not who wins or loses, it's who lives or dies. Okay. Doesn't catch me there. You can be the stainless steel rat. Okay, now I'm back in. I'd love to be a stainless steel rat.
It is an actual role playing game. It must be just a book, like one of those like choose your own adventure kind of things. Because it's only $2.95.
I think it's for a system. I don't know exactly, but the one below it, Psychodrome 2, the shape changer scenario, it says
Like both these are based on actual books. Like Stainless Steel Rat was a book series by Harry Harrison, and obviously this other one is too, since it says Simon Hawke, whoever Simon Hawke is. But so yeah, it's
I
odd.
don't know if these are. We did a ad for something a while back, or maybe it was an article about in a book review about a game system or choose your own adventure books that weren't called choose your own adventure that had authors. And I'm wondering if these are part of that, or if this is something else. Either way,
For that price, it's obviously not a real RPG. It's something smaller. So,
Yes.
I think it's a book.
like you say, like it's either a like even I mean, I think by this point, Ian Livingstone had been doing his those books where it's like a
Oh, I know who Harry Harrison is. I read his Bill the Galactic Hero books.
yeah, he's a famous author for sure.
I love Bill the Galactic Hero. He lost his arm, so they sewed a left arm so he could shake hands with himself. So he had
Obviously.
two left arms.
But
I just remember when in that one scene where they said, "Harry Harrison, you magnificent bastard, I read your book." That's my only frame of reference to Harry Harrison.
Bill the Galactic Hero books were actually really good. I enjoyed his.
I read some Stainless Steel Rat books too. They're kind of fun adventure books. But anyways, we don't know what this is. It doesn't explain it very well. But they're really just living off the names of these authors. That's what these are. It's like if you really like these authors, you're gonna look for these. So
in 1998, you weren't Googling Ace June.
88.
You weren't.
88.
I would wager to guess that this is an adventure because it does say role playing adventure. But
yeah, but it doesn't say
what system.
Yeah,
what
that's
system
why.
it's for.
That's why I think it's a all-in-one kind of book, like those, like I say, Ian Livingstone ones, where it's you have characters in the back, kind of, and you play through the game, but it's actually just a book. Yeah.
I'm with Rob there. That's what I think it was. But there's no telling.
Yeah, they don't explain it because I when I read this art, I didn't read the thing. I just saw it and I was like, oh, it's just books, like literal fiction. Because at the bottom it says number one publisher of fiction, science fiction, and fantasy. So I assumed it was just actual books they're advertising. Not until you said there was a role playing adventure. I'm like, what? So that's odd. Explain in your ad. You should really explain what you're selling. I think that's maybe something to learn. Is that in Adman 101? It should be.
Maybe at the time you couldn't help but know what this was, and everyone go, yeah, of course. But now, 50 years removed, I have no idea. So.
Oh, okay. So I just did some looking.
Oh.
It is. They call it a pick your own path.
Yeah.
book.
There you go. Choose your own adventures. There you go.
Mm.
It's not role playing games, guys. That's not what role playing means.
Yeah.
Mystery solved.
Yeah. Anyways,
Okay.
thanks for that, Harry Harrison.
No, he wasn't responsible for this. He just wrote a book, and probably got paid so that someone could make a choose your own adventure with his characters, with his licensed property. He's not responsible.
Maybe he is. Maybe he wrote the book.
You might have.
That's true.
Because it is a pick your own adventure.
And maybe they had the authors of the original
I will
source
say
material.
that a couple people that that I was just looking up right now, a couple did mention that he wrote the books. Some guy was looking. I'm looking for a set of RPG books that Harrison wrote, and then I scroll down a little bit further down in the thread, and it said, "Well, it's not RPG per se as a pick your own adventure or pick your own path book."
Yeah.
So he might have wrote it.
He might have wrote it.
Could be. Who knows? We'll never know.
Who knows?
We'll literally
Not
never
I.
know.
You'll never know.
Or it had his name on it, but it was ghostwritten. That's probably much more logical.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote it and just said, "Yeah, it's by Harry Harrison."
But Harry Harrison, if he was still around, he could tell us. RIP.
Once again, I don't think he is still around. So,
No.
my next ad is on page 106.
No, I think we all did one.
No, I never did one. What are you talking about, Jack?
Yeah.
This one is it's a gazetteer for the Dungeons & Dragons gazetteer books. The real reason I like it is they show you the map and show you each book is on the map. So if you're like, hey, I want to adventure in this area, and then you're going to move to the next area, you're like, okay, I get that book next. It's such a great ad, like to show which books you should be buying, because
I think this is Greyhawk. I think this map is Greyhawk.
It's gazetteer, or it might be Orth, because this is for D&D, not AD&D.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the map itself that it's pointing out is the Greyhawk map. That the one that was hanging on the wall?
No, this isn't Greyhawk. This is Orth.
That is Greyhawk.
No, it isn't.
Yes.
No, I think it's two different things.
No, Orth was the name of the place in Greyhawk.
Well, we'll never know.
I think.
Because I thought
It's
Greyhawk was
map of Greyhawk. I recognize,
and I thought Greyhawk was AD&D, not D&D.
It was D&D. I think it was both, actually.
Which that makes no sense. But
I'm glad that Rob, you forced your way in with another ad just to bring divisiveness and arguments amongst us. You're trying to kill the show by bringing this negative energy.
Yes, I am a bad person. Okay, it is Greyhawk. Pat is right. I'll give it to him.
Because I played it.
Well, I don't care.
Don't care. Don't.
I just like the ad because it tells you where to buy next. I thought that's cool.
I think it's awesome.
It is at this point there is especially in Dean the TSR they're just really pumping out anything but things for the system because AD&D is going to be changing very soon. So they're putting a lot of these kind of books out where it's just like, okay, let's just fill in.
Well, they
places.
also put money into the Beckme rules, right? Immortal just finished. The last one just is out.
Did we see an ad for the last one? I think so. Yeah. But yeah.
So you got to keep those people happy. So
who's playing D&D at this point?
And also, just anemic people, I hear. And also, this is not stats, monster stat blocks, or anything like this. This is
all this background, yeah.
Fluff, which can go into other, game systems. This is a much more supplemental. And if you can get some purchases out of people who are looking for fluff and a couple pre-made cities, that's their money's green.
Yeah. Even if you're not playing D&D, I'm sure you could still use all this. Yeah. Interesting. Well, there's a lot of people doing that kind of stuff, for sure. Other companies, so expanding worlds and doing settings, but I didn't realize there's this many Gazetteer books actually. I didn't.
There's a crap ton.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
I recognized one cover of all of them there.
I recognize the Grand Duchy of Karakomakos.
I know the orcs. I remember seeing the orcs and the Mongol-looking guys. I can't even say that name.
Geontry.
Yeah,
that's the other one I kind of recognize. Yeah,
that's the one I recognized.
The elves and the five shires, because I was like, oh look, hobbits.
Oh, hobbits. Don't say that. They'll get sued.
I know, but that's when I walked into the game store, because like I said, I was still divorced, but I still would go look.
Divorced.
I was still divorced from this game.
But you'd still troll its
I
media,
social
media.
I do a little stalker drive by, walk into the store,
look in the window a bit,
hat and sunglasses, pretending like I was there for a pack of gum,
pretend not to look at the book, but
then I would just kind of run my hand across the spine.
That's getting creepy.
Ooh.
While they slept. Oh. But this has gone off the rails, Jack. What are you doing?
All right.
I'm getting goosebumps, and I'm going to just close my eyes and let Pat do his magic.
So, as I'm caressing the spine, we're going to go to page 89.
Oh, Jack, he tricked you.
He took advantage. He took advantage of my weakness.
Yeah.
The Rogue Trader, 40K.
I thought you'd choose this one, yep. And it's one of those ads I love that has all the stat lines in the ad.
All I'm going to say is you will never see an ad from GW like this ever again with all the weapons and all the stats listed.
You don't need to buy the book. It's right here.
Yeah, you'll never see this from GW again.
You can barely read it, but it's there.
Yeah, but if you had the actual publication in front of you,
it's still really small print.
It'd still be much. You can also put one of Jack's little monocles on and look at it.
Jack does wear a monocle, but that's because it's Colonel Clink impersonation is spot on.
Impersonation. I become Colonel.
Yeah, sorry. Yes.
Oh God!
Oh, look at him trying to steal your thunder, Jack.
Well, you'll always be my Schultz, Rob.
I'll be Schultz. I don't get to be Schultz. Who can I be? Can I be Richard Dawson?
Yeah, you can be Richard Dawson.
the fake English guy.
Yeah, you can be the guy who touches inappropriately people during game shows.
That's Family Feud. He didn't do that in Hogan's Hero. He was the
no. Okay, so that looks like all of the ads for us.
I think Rob's got his first ad, right?
No, you took my other ad. It was just Pooler Aliens.
I got one quick shout out because I need the listeners to help me with this.
What page are we shouting out to?
Go to page 7. Let's go to page 70. 107. 107.
Oh, we were just at 107, weren't we?
Yeah. The 106. This is 107
Oh.
next page. So there's nothing special about this ad.
Oh yeah, I was curious about this too.
I'm just interested. Does anyone still have this piece of?
I was trying to see how much it
Terrain.
cost. It doesn't have the price anywhere on here, and I was like, it must be
I didn't either.
expensive.
I bet you it wasn't. I bet you it wasn't as expensive as we think it would be.
What is
Nowadays,
it made
this
out
thing
of?
would be this. I'm sure it's plastic. It looks plastic in the book in the color picture.
Yeah, or it's some kind of polystone or something.
Yeah. Does it say?
Nah, I don't think it does.
No,
It's-
but
it's-
I'm curious. Does anyone even have this piece of terrain still? The judo. I bet you
It's probably
nowadays
worth a lot of money.
This is probably a $300 set if they had put this thing out.
Oh.
I bet you back in the '80s it was maybe like $69.99.
If that'd be a lot if it was $69.99, but
All right, $49.99.
I'm curious. Yeah,
So,
it-
anyone listening to
very
the show,
modular.
just let us know. Yeah, I mean, you can see the breakdown in the.
it must be
non-colored
plastic because it's you put it together. It must be plastic.
Yeah. I'm almost positive it looks plastic.
And if you want to see it in full color glory, you can go up to page 3. There's an ad for the rules that go with that terrain piece, and
Yep.
it has it all painted up, and it has it shown
yeah.
both in Warhammer 40K and
Siege.
Yeah, I saw those Elder Titans coming and shoot the breach of the wall. Oh, so that's why it's modular, so you can show a breach of the wall.
Yep. Yeah, it's
So, again, I just wanted to shout out to the listeners. If you have this, let us know if you still do, because that would be awesome. And secondly, let us know if you remember how much it costs.
that thing is
We're-
huge. Then if that's a
Yeah.
Titan, that's not even up to just
Not
above
a
the
Titan,
wall.
I'm sorry, it's a Dreadnought. But the Dreadnoughts are like 6 inches tall anyway, so
Yeah,
that's still pretty tall.
That's pretty tall. Nice.
if that's the same one, I assume it is, but
I think it is. It doesn't.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
they would never have something that they're not selling in their ad. So
yeah.
So it's bigger than you'd think with no
Yeah.
sense of scale in that first article
Yeah.
we looked at.
I wonder if those
That's
two
what-
people in the ad there that are playing are famous people. They're probably like famous.
I'm going
GW
to say
guys.
this, but I'm not going to say I'm 100% right. But I think I think the guy on the left might be the Perry brother who lost his arm
Before he lost his arm or after?
after.
Is that why they're not showing him with two arms?
Yes,
It's, oh,
I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm not 100% sure. I'm just this is my educated guess.
or if we could be lacking in taste, you could say that the arm they show does look like it's
It does
I don't
look
know.
deformed. It does look deformed
yeah. So I don't know
in the
what,
camera angle.
well, yeah, what level of I don't know the backstory, but
No,
maybe-
The Perry brothers are very good sculptors, and he's a very good sculptor for losing the part of his arm.
didn't he lose it in like a fireworks accident or something?
I don't remember the exact story. I
For
did
some
back
reason
in the day.
for some reason that's in my brain. I don't know.
I don't know if it was a fire accident. Maybe.
We'll never know. Jack,
We'll
are we
never
done?
know.
Yes, we're done. Let's get out of here. This week is officially over. I'm slamming the cover closed
It's a
on
long
this magazine.
Jack, why are they always so long when you do?
I don't know. The fans, hopefully, if you're at home, you're painting your miniatures and you're just, losing time to our dulcet tones. Thank you for following along with us. I try, but these guys, they're remorseless ad and article fiends. They're junkies. They tie their arm off and they just can't get enough.
Ooh.
So
Mm.
I apologize.
We just got
Cretins.
demonetized, I think, because of Jack's drug references.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Here's the
Jack.
joke on you. We're not monetized.
If we lost our patrons because of the drug reference, then we'd be in real trouble.
yes.
Anywho, thank you all, and we will see you next time on the Dragon's Tome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Sayonara. Bye, Evita.